want to begin by telling everybody I appreciate your patience, allowing me to get back in town. I was at a out-of-town law enforcement conference when this happened yesterday. And just like anybody who saw the video, I was shocked and disturbed by it. You can't watch the video without having those types of feelings. And as a sheriff and also as a parent, I have a 7th grade daughter, it bothered me. And at that point, I wanted to have a lot of questions answered, and we started our investigation. Our investigation is an internal investigation dealing only with policy violations. It has nothing to do with any criminal wrongdoings at all. We're looking at, did the officer act properly? Did he act in relationship to the training that we provide? Did he follow all our policy and procedures? That's what the internal affairs investigation is doing. And the results of that will determine his further employment here. He has been suspended without pay. I know there's been some discussions on which way that was. I want to make sure we're clear on that. He has been suspended without pay. That happened yesterday. Once all this was brought to our attention. Now, yesterday, after it was brought to my attention, I placed a call to the special agent in charge of the FBI for South Carolina. He was actually at the same conference that I was at. And the purpose of that call was to ask the FBI to take over and do a criminal investigation. I also had a conversation with the United States Attorney, William Nettles, and followed up with a written request to Dave Thomas, the FBI Special Agent in charge, and also the U.S. Attorney, and followed up with a written request this morning asking them to investigate this as a civil rights violation or whatever violation that they deem is appropriate. I felt that it was very important that I do that very quickly. I don't want anybody in Richland County or anywhere in the world to say that this is not being handled properly. That's why I've asked for a very independent outside agency that we all respect and know that does a very thorough and fair investigation to handle this. That's why I asked the FBI to come in and do it. They've agreed. They've opened up a civil rights investigation. They've already started their investigation. We'll fully cooperate with them and provide anything that they need. Their timetable, I can't tell you. That's their investigation. They will handle that. The timetable on the internal investigation should be finished within probably the next 24 hours. Within the next 24 hours, I'll have the results of our internal investigation, and at that point, I'll make my decision on whether the deputy will continue to be employed here or not. I can't tell you now. I haven't seen results. I just got back in town. I haven't had a chance to get up to speed on everything. I will do that, and then hopefully by tomorrow I'll be able to stand here before you and all the citizens of Richland County and give you the decision that I've reached based on our internal affairs investigation. Again, this is very disturbing. We've seen one video, we've seen 2 videos, and now we've learned that there's a 3rd video. We have a 3rd one that's come forward now. Another child or student in that class videoed it also from a different angle, and it shows a different perspective. It actually shows the student hitting the school resource officer with her fist and striking. Now, what she does is not what I'm looking at. What I'm looking at is what our school resource officer did. What was his actions? What did he do? That's where I'll make my determination based on that. Even though she was wrong for disturbing class, even though she refused to abide by the directions of the teacher, the school administrator, and then also the verbal commands of our deputy, I'm looking at what our deputy did. What was seen on the video, on all the videos, and also what the witness statements. We've gotten statements from the teacher, from the assistant principal that was there. That will be in the whole packet that I'll look at and make my determination. Again, just like anybody else who saw it, I'm very disturbed by it. We're going to handle it appropriately, and we're going to handle it very quickly. This is not something that should drag out. This is a priority for our Internal Affairs Division. They've been working on it since yesterday. And again, I feel like by tomorrow I should have the results of that. But, you know, to go back to the FBI investigation, that is something I really felt like I needed to make that request very quickly, and I appreciate the FBI and the United States Attorney's Office agreeing to take over that investigation and conduct that investigation very quickly. And look forward to whatever the results. Questions?
Sheriff, you're talking about the third video. Is there ever a scenario in which one of your deputies does not necessarily feel his life is in danger, that it's okay to do what he did?
Well, I don't want to comment right now until this is over with, but I think you understand when I say I'm disturbed by it also. You should be able to read between the lines on that. But again, I want to get the official results from our internal affairs.
And my follow-up question to that is, so that will be part of the investigation, though, the fact that she did, according to this video, punch the deputy?
Well,
or is it not relevant?
That, to me, that's really not relevant. What's relevant is his actions. What did he do? And how did he conduct himself when he made the arrest? That's what I'm looking at. Yeah, I'm very concerned about her disrupting school and not allowing the teacher to teach and the kids to learn. I'm concerned about that, but that's not my responsibility right now. My responsibility is the appropriateness of the deputy's actions. That's what I'm looking at.
Sheriff, what are the criteria that you'll be looking at when you are making your evaluation as to whether or not he properly applied force?
Did he follow the procedures that we have and what we teach? And our training unit will look at the videos, they'll look at the statements. They're the ones who teach these officers and deputies on the proper techniques. And they will give me a report that he followed the proper techniques that he's been taught here at the Sheriff's Department.
Sheriff, for out-of-town folks, I'm Greg McCoy for Reuters. Can you talk broadly about the specific, about the SRO program, how long it's been in place, how many officers or how many schools, et cetera?
We have 87 school resource officers. We're the largest in the state. Every school in Richland County, elementary school, middle school, high school, and alternative schools have a school resource officer assigned to them. Some of the high schools have 2 school resource officers. I've been sheriff for 19 years, and we've had these officers in our schools ever since I've been elected sheriff. By and large, they do a great job every single day. Their jobs there is to build relationships with the kids, make sure that the school is a safe environment. They're there as educators to teach kids things that you might not learn from a book about math, but, you know, life skills. Some of the dangers they're going to face with gangs and drugs. You know, that's their, you know, some of them are teachers, some of them are coaches. This school resource officer was one of the football coaches for Spring Valley High School also. We want them to be involved in the school, be a very positive role model. But they're also there to assist administrators and the teachers to make sure it's a good, safe learning environment. That's what kids go to school for, is to learn.
Sheriff,
Sure.
there was concerns raised by many in the community about the SRO program and whether that officer should have been in that room to begin with. Is that something that going forward you will look into as well? And she claims that she suffered injuries, lacerations, and broken bones. Do you have anything on that?
No, I have no knowledge of that. To my knowledge, she wasn't injured whatsoever. She may have had a road burn or something like that, but she was not injured. As far as the officer being there, I have some concerns about that too. I think sometimes our officers are put in very difficult positions. When a teacher can't control a student, is that our responsibility to go in there and remove that student? Or is that responsibility of the teacher or the school administration is that? Unfortunately, our legislature passed a law, it's called Disturbing Schools. If a student disturbs school, and that's a wide range of activities disturbing school, they can be arrested. Our goal has always been, let's see what we can do without arresting the kids. We don't need to arrest these students. We need to keep them in schools, and that's why we have so many alternative programs to do that.